Hello guys and welcome to another episode of CharjrRyuki's Reviews on Fire. Today we'll be talking about the trailer of not game footage trailer of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now we get to see what the characters will look like, and it's obviously based somewhere in Europe, England, whatever. And the disappointing thing about the trailer that I found, even though it wasn't in-game footage, it's the normal problem that Pokemon has. And that's involving past generation Pokemon. We've seen Pikachu, Minccino, Tyranitar. It looked like Lucario was in there. And it was kind of depressing in a way. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the Galar region, just looking at this, because I have like the map of it, or what it looks like on my phone here, which is what I'm looking at. It looks pretty good. We got an ice area up in the mountain there, probably where the Pokemon League is. Plenty of rocky areas, and tree area here and there maybe. And it looks pretty good. The new looks of the gyms and whatnot. But could it be that this new gen game, could be a bit of a disappointment? Because we don't know what the legendaries look like. But if you look at the design, the sword and shield, could the legendaries be canine related? Or could they be related to something of medieval times, such as maybe another dragon, a griffin, or something of that? Something that, back then would have. Or what would their other story be? Now, the starters, seeing the introduction of the starters was actually pretty good. And Sobble apparently seems to be getting a fan base, and from what I've seen, and Scorbunny's also getting one, as well as Grookey. I probably screwed his name up, but yeah, Grookey. Let's talk about Grookey. He's holding a stick that he carries on him. He's a little green little monkey. And apparently he's a chimp, but he might be related to a different monkey as well, based on design. I would probably assume, and I'm just assuming this, that Grookey could end up being a fighting type, or a ground type, or just... But what I would actually like with these starters to be solid fire, solid grass, solid water. Straight up solid of their typing. But based on carrying a stick, sword and shield kind of, branding, I would probably assume that this little monkey is probably either going to be a grass fighting or a grass psychic. Very well could be. Or grass ground. Let's go to Sobble. I'm gonna talk about the fire type last. Sobble, I'm gonna have to admit, yeah, these characters are adorable. They're fun to look at. But Sobble, for some reason, he seems to be a little bit of a shy character, and shy, curious, very accurate with his shots. With water. They call him their description of him is a somewhat timid water lizard Pokemon that shoots out attacks and hides in the water. So, what, you're saying that he's more of a timid, shy version of a Froakie? Except he's a lizard, not a frog? I don't know. But my assumption with little Sobble here, there's quite a few choices that he could be. You know, he could be based on the little yellow in his little door, like top fin up here. Could be an electric type, water electric type. Good assumption. Other possibility, water ground type. Other possibility, water poison type, as well as water dragon type, which kind of would follow suit with the fact that the last region, the Alola region, had a water fairy type as its starter, final evolution. And let's talk about Scorbunny, because why fire types when it comes to the Pokemon Company, Nintendo, Game Freak, worry the daylights out of me. And if you haven't looked at my older videos on my main channel, you'd understand why. We do not need a fire fighting type at all, period. Did I really like Incineroar, being Tony the Tiger kind of version? No, I don't think he should have been bipedal. He should have been, on all fours. That to me would better fit. And it might be the possibility that with Scorbunny, we might get the exact same thing. That we might get another bipedal starter. And based on looks, and as the fact that this Pokemon is always running around with bursting energy, leads to the fact that it could be a straight up electric type, because it's always running, it's always going. Like the Energizer Bunny. Go. The other possibility, which depresses me, is by look like the little Band-Aid, kind of yellow little Band-Aid up here, like right on top of its head, top of its nose. Kind of makes it look like it's going to be a fighting type. Yes, it has a little more yellow in it than Sobble does. And the overall design looks pretty reasonable, but also gives you the hint, the possibility that maybe with just Scorbunny alone, could be a pure fire type, fire normal, or fire electric or to fire fighting. And I want to throw fire fighting types in the trash, because we've had 3 generations of those, and the 3rd generation of the firefighting type Emboar did not deserve to be a firefighting type. I don't care if anyone wants to argue with me on that. It did not deserve to be one, because why have the grass and water type be solid types when Emboar itself could have been a solid type of fire? And it's funny that it kind of looks like there's a possible new evolution, maybe. There's a rumor going around there might be another evolution, maybe 2 evolutions, because we didn't receive a new evolution at all for the Kalos region, a secondary one besides Sylveon, which there should have been a second one because it would have been a better fit, having it being a poison type evolution of Eevee, or a dragon type or a steel type evolution of Eevee, because those are the 3 main types that are, 1 is like the weakest, 2 are the strongest against fairy types. But there's a possibility there's going to be 2 new evolutions for it. So I'm kind of looking at it, but this is just a rumor, so I'm not going to be showing it on the video. But yeah, I mean, the trailer itself was kind of depressing, with the fact that you were seeing here's I'm looking at right now is a Let's Go version of Pikachu and a Gen 8 look like we've seen in the game, and it looks pretty darn similar, even though it looks a little bit more realistic in Gen 8 than it does in Let's Go. Um, there, there's a picture here comparing Grookey's look to one of the Powerpuff Girls. It's pretty depressing that I just admitted that I actually used to watch that when I was a kid. Yep, that's pretty depressing. Designs for like the main protagonist is actually pretty reasonable. You know, pretty nice to see. That actually looks pretty interesting. Currently, there's already fan art and possible evolutions already going out. And it's pretty depressing that people are already, kind of. But there is a possibility that now that I look at it, that maybe not fire normal, maybe fire fairy. If it's just think about it this way: if Grookey's final evolution was a fire, not fire, a grass fighting type, and Sabol's evolution was either water poison or water dragon, what the fire type would be. Because I brought this up in my older videos on my main channel, that the rabbit, the possible final evolutions for the rabbit would be a pure fire, fire fairy, fire normal, fire electric. And I didn't want to add firefighting in there because it's stupid. There's no reason for it to be in there. And that's pretty much it. You can have it being a fire ground type, but fire fairy seems what I'll be leaning towards besides fire electric type. So with that, I give the trailer. I'm not even going to give a rating to the trailer because it's not actual game footage to really go off of. It's just giving you a hint of what the game might look like. Until further notice, I will see you guys in another video. Peace.